What's going on, guys? Back at it with another video. Today I'm going to be at RCG. It is at the Crystal Palace Banquets in Mount Prospect. And today is 1/22/2023. And I'm going to be wearing my Kobe Lakers shirt because it is 17 years from when he scored 81. So I'm going to show you that little poker drip quick. I'm a big fan of Kobe, so I'm going to be wearing his 81-point shirt today, 17 years to the day. I got my Lakers hat to go with it, and I got a signature. My dad made it into a little poster thing. I got that back when Kobe played the Cavs and LeBron for the first time, so that was pretty cool. But I'll be rocking the Lakers gear today. And my boy Max plays in the Lakers. Shout out to Max. They got a game tonight against the Trailblazers, so good luck, Max. And now let's head over to the venue. In this first hand of the night, it's a straddled pot and we're in the small blind. And we look down at pocket sixes in the small blind. So we open a 15 and get called by middle position, the hijack, and the button. So we are 4 ways to a flop, and it's an interesting flop. Deuce, 3, ace, all diamonds. I do have the 6 of diamonds, but multi-way, I don't want to blow in the pot. So I check. Middle position bets 15. The hijack gets out of the way, or that's the middle position one, and the button. So I decide to call. The turn brings our flush, the jack of diamonds. He could easily have any over diamonds, so I check, and he bets 15 again. Doesn't show a lot of strength, and he could easily have a higher flush, but my hand was too strong to fold. And now the river's a 7 of diamonds, and I check, and he checks back and shows ace jack. So I think we got the max, and we'll take it down with the flush. After that initial hand with pocket sixes, we keep picking up marginal hands and have to throw them away after either single raises or we get 3-bet. And that's just the reality of poker. I didn't want to play out of line and play marginal hands and just throw money away. So these hands are all playable, but when facing 3-bets or opens, I think better of it and try not to play as loose. So I'm just going to wait for my spots. Here's another hand, queen jack off, no good. And that's just the reality of poker. Sometimes you'll have to wait a while, and here I decided to add on another 100 so I could play at my best capability. In this next hand, we're in the big blind, and we look down at ace 10, and when it's limp to us, I think this is an easy open. Victor in the under the gun 1 limped, and the small blind folded, so heads up, and I race to 15, and Victor calls. Now to a flop of 9-6-4 rainbow. This board could hit him a lot of the time, so I check, and he checks back. We turn top, and once again, this is a card that should hit him a lot of the time, so I decide to get tricky and check, and he does take the bait, and that's $20. And I think a smooth call here is the best course, so I call. Now the river's the 9, great card for me as I have 2 pair now with an ace kicker, and he really puts the pressure on me here, betting $55. And I'm not sure what types of hands he's trying to say he has. 9 would have bet the flop to deny equity from some overcards, and he could easily have a 10 here with a worse kicker, so I don't think folding is ever in the picture, and I was debating a raise, but what worse am I getting called by? So in the end, I just decided to flick in the call, and he says we're good and says he had queen high. So likely queen jack type hand, but we'll take it down with top. In this next hand on the button, I look down at ace 7 offsuit, and it's folded to me, so this is an easy open from the button, and that I do. And only Victor in the big blind makes the call for my $10. And when he checks to me on queen jack deuce, higher cards favor me, so I c bet for 10, and he makes the call. Now, turns in 9 of spades, not my favorite, as he has a lot of these middling type cards, and when he checks, I check back for some control. And now we bank the ace of diamonds on the river, and now he leads for $15, and it does seem like value, but rivering top pair, I just have to call, and he has Jack 9 of hearts, so nice hand, Vic. You got me on that one. Aces on the button. It was opened from a middle position player to 13, and I decided to 3-bet him to 30, and only he makes the call. And this player was drunk and whatever. He was just doing random stuff all night. So when the flop is 10-9-7 and he checks, this would be a scary board for aces against a lot of opponents, but this guy, he wasn't fully in capability. So when he checks, I bet 20, 1/3 pot size bet, and he makes the call. Now the turn's the queen of diamonds, not my favorite card, as this could bring in some two-pair possibilities, but I think I should be betting that a lot to deny equity from scared card rivers that could scare me. And the 6 of hearts rolls in the river when he leads out for 25 or 30. I just got a shrug call, and we're good versus ace king of diamonds, so miss flush draw, and we win the hand. I decided to move seats because that seat was not giving me a lot of love, and we look down at red aces again in middle position 1, and it's full to us, so we open to 10 and get called directly to our left from the hijack, the small blind calls, and the big blind folds. So we're going 3 ways to such a safe board. 7 deuce deuce, 2 clubs. When the small blind checks, I think this is a pretty standard spot to c-bet, as I would with any hands I have, most of my range, and I decided to c-bet 15. And the hijack folds. The small blind decides to come along with a call. We go to a rather safe looking turn in the king of spades, so the flush draw did not get there yet. And I think I could be betting this a lot of the time, but I decided to check back. And now the river is the queen of spades, and when he checks, I don't think he has much, so I decided to value bet 15, and he folds, so we take it down with aces again. Let's go, they held. This next hand, we are in under the gun 1 and open to $10 with the ladies, pocket queens. We get one call from our left, the middle position, one call from the cutoff, and button, small blind, big blind, all get out of the way. 3 ways to a flop, 7 ace king, all spades. You'd assume the hand would be over here, and it's not. I decided to check. Middle position bets 6, cutoff calls. And what the hell not? Why not? Let's gamble. Let's see if I could turn us the queen of hearts, the one card I'm looking for. And I throw in the 6 because I like wasting $6. But the turn comes the 4 of clubs. Obviously we didn't get there, and this is how you waste $6. But nevertheless, queens go down in flames this hand when I check middle position bets and we fold. Premium after premium. We're in the big blind with 6-deuce, and we already see a flop. That's why I'm recording late, and I decided to check from the big blind, and the under the gun leads out for 13 into a $10 pot. And here's where I spring the trap, raise to 30, and he puts me all in. And what else am I going to do? If he does have a set or a straight, I have the back doors flush draw, and we flick it in, and he wants to go one time, and he flips over pocket 7s. So we're going to need to hold. Turns at 8 of spades. That's a good card for us. River's a 4, and I think we're good, and we are. Pocket 7's no good, sir. Should have raised pre-flop, and we stack that drunk guy. 6-deuce, let's go. We're on with 6-deuce. Not clickbait. We take it down. Big blind special. In this next hand, from the under the gun position, we looked down at pocket 8s and decided to open the action up to $10. And it is folded around to Vic in the cutoff, and he decides to put in the call. Small blind, big blind, both fold, and button, small blind fold, Brad in the big blind makes the call. and we are 3 ways to a flop of deuce, 5, 7, 2 diamonds. Great flop for my exact hand, pocket eights with a diamond, and Brad decides to lead out here for 15. This is an interesting spot to me, as I could be raising to deny equity from overcards and 2 diamonds, but I don't want to get 3-bet if I do decide to raise, so I just call, and Vic gets out of the way. So we're heads up to the turn, which is a card that hits me, Queen of Spades. When Brad checks this card, it's the green light to go for some value against those flush draws like I mentioned, and I could easily have a queen here. So I'm going into value mode, and I bet $25. Could even be sizing up on this, but when I bet 25, he decides to make the call. And now we go to the river, which is the Jack of Spades. Not my favorite card, as he could easily have Jack X combos with diamonds. And I weigh my options when he checks to me, but I think eights has enough showdown. And I decide to check back, and we take it down. In the last hand of the night, we look down at 9, 8 of hearts on the button. It's open from under the gun to 7, called by middle position 1, myself, and the small blind. And we go 5 ways to a flop of 5, 8, king, 1 heart. And the under the gun player decides to lead out here for $12. When the middle position players get out of the way, I think this is an easy call, as I have some backdoor flush, backdoor straight opportunities along with my pair. When I call, the small blind gets out of the way, and we go heads up to the turn, which is the bank 9 of diamonds. We turn our 2 pair. Great card for us. Even better when the under the gun decides to lead out here for $30. Now hitting our money card, we want to bump the pot up, and putting him on ace king, king queen, king jack type hands, we don't want to see any straightening cards come out on the river that might kill our action, so we decide to move all in, and he pretty much snap calls with 6, 7, so not the big turn card we were looking for, but when he decides to run it once, we bank the river with the 8 of diamonds, and we boat up. Sorry sir, your straight is no good. Just got done with that session, cashed 628, so pretty solid profit. I was in for 2 and then dwindled down, so I added on for another 100 just in case I got some big hands, but cashed 628. There's some decent hands. I think I could have 3-bet that 9, 8 of hearts, but I mean, he was opening pretty wide, as you saw, as he had I think it was 7-4 for the turn straight. Some trash hand, but luckily we boated up, and I'm about to go watch this Laker game. So thanks for watching, and that session won 328 in 3 hours and 10 minutes. So I'm gonna try to start keeping track of my hourly, and hopefully that'll give me a better gauge as to how I'm doing. But thanks again for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and peace.